Hi, it's Maxine Kaye with the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living, bringing you another love note, as Reverend Mike and I love to do. Great way to stay connected. Many of you are familiar with the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's a beautiful prayer, and it's a very effective way to live our lives. But what I recently read really got me to sit up and take notice. A woman had written, God, grant me the courage to change the things I cannot accept. And that's very timely for all that's going on in our world right now, isn't it? The courage to change the things we cannot accept because they're just wrong. They do not line up with our moral principles, with our core values, and it has to stop, right? So what do? Well, first of all, of course, we must be aware of what's happening, and whether it's shooting, whether it is warring, whether it is the divisiveness that we are aware of is happening in our country, or the wars going on across the world, the invasion, the greed, all of that. Yes, we need to know what's happening, but we cannot afford for ourselves or for all of humanity to get so disturbed by and so caught down in these terrible circumstances that we feel impotent about doing anything about it. We have all power in the world. We have the power of God that we use every day by the way we think, and the way we feel, the way we speak, and the way we act. So let's begin to use it for a greater good. We must speak up when we see something that is untenable, unconscionable. We need to speak up. We need to write to people. We need to walk in the street if we need to with a sign, whatever we're moved to do, whatever we're drawn to do. And yet, first of all, before taking any action, we need to sit quietly. We need to go deeper into meditation, perhaps than we ever have before, connecting with a presence that is loving and compassionate and wise, and remembering that justice is what love looks like in public. And we want to live in a just world, a loving world, a compassionate world, a kind world where people can respect each other and respect each other's differences and still get along peacefully. So we start by getting so quiet and asking so passionately of the presence and the wisdom within us. What is mine to do? And then we do it. But the first thing to do is to get quiet and listen, of course, to receive that wisdom. The next thing to do is to formulate a new mental equivalent, a new spiritual prototype, a new vision for our world. And it begins with each of us. Remember the song, the Jill Jackson song, "Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me." We can't wait for it to start with someone else. I want to be the peace. I am a stand for peace. I must remember that in my own personal relationships, I must stand for peace, for justice, for kindness, for compassion, for love. And then to remember that there are so many of us joining together to do the work that we're here to do. Let's just do it, okay? Let's just have the courage to change the things that we cannot ever accept. Okay, I have a license to preach, but I try not to. I've gone from talking to preaching, so I'm going to say good night to you, love you, and you'll talk to or listen to Reverend Mike tomorrow.